Hello friends, welcome to my series Fun with Memory. If you are keen to memorize hundreds of songs, poems, verses in a matter of just few minutes, then this is the video for you. So today I have selected a poem Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. And I am going to teach you how to memorize this poem without much effort. Now before I begin that, let me give you the concept. This is a concept of spatial memory. S-P-A-T-I-A-L, spatial memory. Brain finds it very easy to retrieve any memory or any content if it has been stored in a particular location. Because then the location and the content, they create their own synergy, and it becomes very easy for you to retrieve the information. So what we are going to do is create a small memory palace. Let's say a palace or locations or a journey of about 10 locations. And those locations are something which will be very familiar to you. Once we have those locations, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of a single part of a poem and put each of those parts into each location. So I have split this poem into 15 parts. So we'll have to create 15 locations. Each part will be placed into a location and a small story we have to make. I will be giving you the method of how to memorize 10 parts out of these 15. The balance 5 you have to do as your homework. So let us begin. Let's imagine the memory palace or your memory journey is your house. Now why I'm taking house? Because you are very familiar with the place. So let's say the first thing that you have in your house is the main door of the house. Let's say the location number 2 is the shoe rack. Then you come inside the hall of your house, and let's say the location there is the sofa, then there is a coffee table, and then there is a television. So now we have 5 points or 5 locations. Let's create another 5 locations. And let's say you come inside your bedroom. So you have your wardrobe. The next location is your bed. And the third one is your side table. The fourth one is a table lamp. And the fifth one is a big window with the curtains. So we have now identified 10 locations. It will become easier for you as we move along. So now in the poem, there are 15 parts. So I have, as I said to you, I have split the poem into small portions. So the poem goes like this. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where the knowledge is free, where the words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country wake. So this is the poem. So now let me make it simple. Let's say the first part is where the mind is without fear. So what you do is you imagine the main door of the house. And we are trying to link this content, where the mind is without fear, with this door. So imagine you are standing in front of your door of the house, and it's a very solid door, and you have no fear. Once you have a door to the house, which is very robust and strong, then you have no fear. So make a small story, where the mind is without fear. So the moment you see the door, you should be able to remember this, where the mind is without fear. The next location is the shoe rack. And the next line of the poem is, and the head is held high. Now imagine the shoe rack is at a height, and you have to stand very erect and keep your head high to reach the shoe rack. So the second part is, and where the head is held high. Then you will come into the sofa, into the hall. So in the hall you have your sofa. And the third line is, where knowledge is free. Now imagine you have got this particular sofa for free, and how to get it for free, that knowledge also you have been given for free. So just make a small story where knowledge is free. Then comes the next, which is your coffee table. Now the fourth line is where the world has not been broken up into fragments. The fragments mean pieces. So imagine that this is a small world here, and it is a very strong world where it has not been broken up into parts. It's a table, coffee table, which is a nice one full piece. It has not been broken up into parts. And where the linkage here is where the world has not been broken up into fragments. So just make a small story. And then comes your television. Television is the fifth part. And the fifth part is by narrow domestic walls. Now imagine there is a TV where it has been fixed into very narrow walls, narrow domestic walls. So the moment you think of the television, you will think of the narrow domestic walls. So let me just come back to what we said. When we come to the main door, we say where the mind is without fear. And you go to the shoe rack and the head is held high. And you come to the sofa where knowledge is free. Then the coffee table where the world has not been broken up into fragments. And the television by narrow domestic walls. Then you come inside the bedroom and then you have a wardrobe. So now you have to link the sixth line or sixth part of the poem to this particular wardrobe. The seventh part you link to the bed, and the eighth part you link to the side table, and so on. So as you make small stories, you associate those with those locations, the objects on those locations, and make a small story, commit it to your memory. And then as you want to go back and memorize, remember or retry what you have stored, it becomes very easy. So the process is you go back to the first location. And what was the first location? Door, where the mind is without fear. Next, and the head is held high, where the knowledge is free, and so on. So I would like you to try the rest of the poem at your own pace and see whether this works. I'm sure it will work for you. If you are able to do this, then you would have learned this process which will help you to memorize anything which you want, be it the verses, be it any songs. Because at the end of the day, their methodology is the same. Create a location palace or a journey and keep making small parts of the poem which you want to memorize and keep each part on one of the locations. As you keep moving on, it will become very easy for you to get back. So I hope this is of use to you. This will be of use to the students and to even others who love to sing songs, but they find it difficult to memorize them. There are some people who have asked me whether this method can be used for memorizing verses, and the answer is yes. You can remember not just tens and hundreds, but thousands. People have been able to commit to memory the entire Bhagavad Gita or entire Quran or entire Bible. So with this, I would like to stop over here. So take care, stay safe, and God bless. If you like my video, hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel.